Sunday Snacks with Sam and
Ellie.
did it backwards today. It happens. But good morning. We're here and we are talking about thinking spring. I know I recently just had mushroom soil delivered, so I'm thinking spring in a whole nother way of living.
It's time to limber up those muscles.
Yup. Especially my right shoulder. But yeah, we've been experiencing some crazy weather here in Maryland. I mean, we go from 60-degree days
To
one day.
24 that night. Yeah. Yeah. Very weird.
And then I'm cold and I'm warm the day before. And as I'm like outside working and I'm like, yeah. And then,
Yeah. And then everything's frosty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punxsutawney Phil and your 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I know that doesn't matter.
I was going to say, there's 6 more weeks anyway.
No matter what. But,
Yeah.
Come on, groundhog. I need it to be warm.
Yeah.
But as we're like moving forward into the spring season, I mean, I know evidently mushroom soil at my house, my neighbors think it's hilarious because like, it's farm gruff kicked in. Like, well,
so that's how your neighbors know spring is coming.
My neighbors know spring's coming when mushroom soil gets delivered.
She's into it now.
Is they're like, there you go. You had like first few warm days and now you already are in the yard. And it's comical because like my chickens this morning woke us up at, I don't even know, 6, 7, something. They were just squawking. Somebody laid an egg because the animals are obviously ready for
spring. Yep.
But then it's cold still, so they still have like their Christmas tree in there so that they can huddle behind it when it's like windy like crazy. Ugh.
Yeah. I've noticed I don't do gardening to speak of. I have my little flower garden out front, but I've noticed that all of my plants, I have a living room with south facing windows, and all of my plants are very happy with the morning sunshine because south facing, it's, we're getting more of the sun hitting directly for the plants, and they're all showing they're ready.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun.
I'm ready for spring. But this has been one of those weird winters that I love winter. Honestly, I used to love it. It's still one of my favorite seasons of the year. It's just downtime and it's warm, wholesome food and the smells of your house and the holidays and all that. But then this winter has been so dreary. I like snow in winter and we just have not had it. It's been wet and cold and rainy and then wet and cold.
Actually, we've had a lot of nice sunny days too.
But it's been cold.
But it's been, Well, even that though, we haven't had that much cold. I only had 2 evenings where I had to let my water drip in the sink. So it hasn't been that bad.
It's just one of those things I think as I get older, that I'm not, like, I miss the snow because I love to shovel snow. Like through the winter, like I can't get in my garden, so I don't get that physical exercise that I get spring, summer, and fall. Like the winter is always like the relaxing time, but I do like a good shoveling the driveway from time to time. My husband loves that I love to shovel the driveway, and he does not like to shovel the driveway. But he's the first one out there. He's like, I guess we got to get out there. And I'm like, okay, out I go.
I like the 4 seasons, but I do look, there's something really wonderful about spring, about new growth, and the birds, before long will be really, perking up their songs. And I know I'm seeing the geese couples arriving. So
I saw bluebirds the other day.
Did you really?
I was dumbfounded. I'm like, I saw bluebirds so early in the season for them. So they know something's coming. We don't always know.
Yeah.
Animals know before we do.
Yeah.
We're a little
absolutely. Although they can be fooled too. Mother Nature can fool them.
Mother Nature can fool us all.
Everybody.
But yeah, we were talking earlier about the idea of springing forward. That is one of the things I absolutely hate about spring. I hate the changing of the clock. I wish we just kept the clock the same.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people like it because is it the hour of sleep? Is this the time when they get the hour of sleep or they lose the hour of sleep?
You lose it.
Oh,
Fall back is when you get it, which is good because that's when you're getting ready to hibernate.
I love the getting an hour of sleep, but I hate losing it. If we just stay on a constant clock, it's no problem.
Yeah. I guess people who work in offices like it because the evening is longer.
Yeah, and
coming
home in the dark is just drudgery.
I think going to work in the dark is too. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm like you. I think they should just leave it be. We don't live that way anymore.
We're not an agrarian society anymore. Let's be real.
And like you said, farm tractors have lights, so
they have headlights. Yeah. They work at night anyway. There's no
their barns light up, the whole thing. Yeah.
We're not. I love to go to Tractor Supply in the spring, and my husband has to worry. He always is like, I'm going with you so
is that for plants and seeds?
Not just plants and seeds, but peeps. I'm worse than the kids. Not the little yellow goofy things that are marshmallow. I hate those. Frankly, I like to blow them up in the campfire because they're fun to watch explode.
Oh,
I'm talking
the candy
about
peeps.
Yeah, I don't like the candy.
I was going to say because people heard peeps and think you're going to kill their peeps.
No, I love the peeps. I hate the candy peeps. I like love the fuzzy butts.
Warm and fuzzy.
I love the fuzzy butts, and I always want more chickens. Even though they wake me up at the butt crack of dawn.
And I think just getting your hands dirty out in the soil is even what little I do in my little garden patch out front. It's when I come in after half hour, 45 minutes, which is exercise for me. The one who sits in front of her computer all day working, or at my table painting. I'm sitting. 45 minutes out in my garden is a lot of exercise.
It is,
but it's a different kind of tired.
Oh, it's such a good tired. So
refreshing. Yes,
it's such a good tired.
And satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the other thing. It's very satisfying because you see a beginning and an end. I mean, you can take a before and after picture and say, "Oh yeah, I did that." I think spring brings that kind of energy out.
It definitely does.
Goes along with our change in 2022.
Definitely.
We want to nurture those kinds of good feelings more.
And one of the things I learned in reference to nurturing and springtime and stuff that I didn't know, because mind you, there are times that I just try stuff to try stuff. I'm not actually looking to see if it's actually going to work long term. I sometimes just try it just because I want to. I realized that one of the things that I was always so afraid of doing to my rose bushes and to my raspberry bushes and my my grapevines, is actually something I need to do, including my blueberry bushes. I'm always so hesitant to trim them and to really prune them hard. Well, this is the time of year when I got to put on my heavy denim jacket, Carhartt, and put on thick gloves and go out there and trim every living bush and stuff in my yard, because then they come back so much healthier.
I thought that should all be done before now.
No, actually, you're supposed to do it January through February.
Grapes is in the fall.
No, actually, what I learned.
We raised grapes.
See, we have such different opinions. YouTube has lied to me, according to her. So I gotta go back and find these books again, because most of what I read and watched on YouTube, no lie, definitely did all that, was that you do them January through February. So see, this is the crazy part.
The bad thing about that in Maryland, though, is your spring comes soon. So if you wait too long, your spring growth is already starting, and that's what you're cutting back.
So, this is the interesting part. Because you always tell me about the stories about the, acres of tomatoes you grow, and I freak out.
5 acres and 50,000 plants.
No. Oh God. I can't even handle 5 plants in a small square of a garden. Yeah. No.
Plant more and don't fuss.
Yeah.
I highly recommend plant more and don't fuss, and you'll be fine.
I don't fuss over them as it is. It looks like a jungle by the end of the summer. But really, it's there's so many differing opinions on gardening and springtime. Time. So for me, I know that not everyone goes by this, but I think whatever works for you in your garden is actually the
Oh, for
best
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can watch MI Gardener, I can watch Epic Gardener. I mean, MI Gardener's up in Michigan, Epic Gardener's out in San Diego, California, and then we've got Melissa K. Norris up in, I forget where she is. She's like Washington or
Yeah. I think they
Oregon.
all tell you though to check your zones.
They all tell you to check your
Yeah.
zones, but then if they're also the first people to say, and I admire these people, please don't get me wrong, I admire them hands down. They're also like, what works for you, and
Yeah.
that is one of the things that I've had to learn, because frankly, I'm a book follower.
Yeah.
And I've learned that not everyone always has the right answer. It has to be for me what the right answer is.
Well, and farming, like so many things, gardening is all your soil,
Mm-hmm.
your weather, just like here, there are basics and then the rest is fine tuning what you're already doing.
Yeah.
And
that's where we're at. Like for me, that's where our family's at, is that, we have a basic understanding of a lot of things and we're fine tuning it and amplifying. Like this year, my daughter's super excited. We got the seed catalogs and she's been pouring through them. And
now that's addictive for me.
I
don't even have a garden.
That is like, I have to literally I have to hand the entire list over to someone else to let them order, or I will buy all of the seeds.
Okay, just one of them. One of those. Before you need the whole block.
Yeah, trust me. Like my neighborhood would be slightly overrun with flowers if my daughter and I had anything to do with it. But I'm excited because she has found that she actually found a lot of tea flowers that are interesting that we've never heard of that we want to try this year.
Awesome.
So, and that's the fun part about gardening with my kids in the springtime, because they have a new sense of energy. And what I appreciate the most with the homeschooling aspect is that they can actually tend to it, see to it, grow it from start to finish, and actually utilize it not just for school, but they also have this like deeper personal satisfaction with it.
Yeah.
That honestly surprised me, because I know how much I love it, but it was always, Mom, this is your hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. What else makes it feel like spring?
That's a good question. For me, it's like I said, it's like going to Tractor Supply and seeing all the peeps and the baby chickens and all the other animals and the warm days and new plants.
The new sounds.
The new sounds,
as we
the
hear,
new plants.
I never can wait until what are the little peepers?
The little frogs.
Yeah, I love hearing those. And
I call them peepers.
That's spring, isn't it?
Yep.
Late spring.
They start coming out.
Yeah, and I love hearing those. But I also, being an apartment dweller, I also love those warm days when your house warms up from the sun and you can open the door and let fresh air in. I do that sometimes even if it's cold out, again, because I have south-facing windows, but even if it's cold out, if it's real sunny, I'll open the door for an hour and turn the heat down and let that air come in. And I think I became more conscious of that during COVID,
really?
Of just wanting fresh air. And
I don't think of that as spring, but that is literally what we just do instinctively in our house.
The crazy weather we've had, every one of those days that it's been 50 and above, I've opened the door at least for an hour or so and let fresh air in. And I look forward to that after a cold and dreary winter.
Yes. And I know you and I disagree on how the winter was, but I consider it dreary.
But I still
cold.
Very much like being able to open a door. Yeah. Yeah.
So my question to all of you, and I know this is we're wrapping this up with you, what is the thing that you think of when you think of spring? What else would you like to ask them? Like what?
I forgot. We have whether you're a gardener or not.
Yeah.
What gets you in that mood of looking forward,
And that's it. It's what gets you looking forward.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. So until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Thanks, spring.